Happy Friday. This is your host, Isaiah Peters. Round two, bless you, to my mother over there. Round two. Anyway, round two of chapter 6, episode 6. No fucking around, let's just begin. The next few days were mostly peaceful and mainly uneventful, and so, March 7th, A682, Saturday, things started to change significantly. That Saturday morning, Catherine Vaught, the Princess of Shamaria, was quietly reading several scrolls in her war tent within the Kingdom of Shamaria, more precisely in the kingdom's capital, Four Crown. Grand Dieu, Laguerre, Catherine sighed heavily. This needs to end soon. Princess Catherine, said a musketeer. The Rovarians are seeking a temporary truce with you. He handed her yet another scroll. Catherine swiftly took the scroll from the young man. Merde. She bowed to the man and handed him some coins. Be sure to treat our men well tonight, she instructed. Bless you, Princess Catherine. The man took his leave after giving her a small, respectful bow. I have inherited my late father's military, but at what cost? Catherine stepped outside of her soulful expression on her face. I am only 21, and already I am the next Shamarian Urja, and yet I'm really just a young woman thrust into a role for war that I'm personally just not ready for. My lady, Xander stepped into the tent. There is talk that the port town, Nicophis, is seeing new visitors. Catherine sighed angrily. What visitors this time? There are these robed men and women in dark colors preaching on and on about darkness and destruction. Catherine dropped a set of notebooks immediately. And there are also reports that the great hero has been spotted there too, trying to convince these depraved visitors to leave the town alone. The gladiator continued. I cannot take more of this. Catherine went straight to the back of her tent and grabbed a pair of rapiers. Come, Xander. Gather some trusted men and women so we can face down this threat. Understood. Xander marched out and started calling for people. And so, by the time she, Xander, and a nice 30 men and women entered the port town, it was almost noon, and immediately there was nothing but chaos. The town's denizens were screaming and running for their lives. Direxes were setting fires. There were dead bodies piling up, and Franklin himself stood before the local church in quiet prayer with Song standing beside him, with her arms crossed. Arrête le roi. There go my French. But basically she said stop there. Catherine then stepped before Franklin with one of her rapiers pointing at him. Franklin, on the other hand, attempted to merely shoo her away. Catherine scoffed and thought just then, no he didn't. I'll show this constant menace. You are interrupting my plans, Catherine girl. Run along. Franklin clasped his hands together. Great unholy darkness. May you bless this town with great pain and suffering, and bless me and my newest recruit. He took Song by her hand, with untold levels of anger, drive, and the will to inflict pain upon ourselves and all who inhabit this rotting world. He can't be serious, both Catherine and Song thought. Come, give up your status and turn your pain toward being reshaped for the better. Franklin looked at Catherine with an intense gaze. You know you are not ready for the pressure your kingdom has on you. Shut the hell up and fight me, Catherine prepared herself. On guard. Franklin calmly let go of Song and stepped before the new Shamarian Urja. Should I win, you will become one of us, Urja Catherine. Franklin's eyes glowed with tremendous power. Face me, and be sure to use all of what you have. You wish to fight too? Catherine then asked Song. As Song prepared to help the cleric, Franklin stopped her. No, you go and defend our fellow worshippers, he said firmly. I shall take care of this one. Understood, Lord Franklin. And so, she went on to fight alongside the other Direxes. Catherine then lunged at Franklin, swinging her blades at him, while Franklin countered with a newly constructed scythe made from his supernatural abilities. For the next 5 minutes, as the port town continued to go in flames and such, Catherine appeared to be slowly getting the upper hand, but that's just it. She appeared to be. Crafty in his fighting, Franklin said a quiet incantation that rendered Catherine immobilized by the massed shadows around them. Then he stunned her even further with just one brutal slap. Catherine screamed with great fright in her voice. You have already lost when you challenged me, Catherine girl. Franklin's eyes stopped glowing right then. You're not man enough to fight me without your magic, I see, Catherine hissed. Stay away from her. Xander rushed forward and bashed Franklin down to the ground before he repeatedly stepped on him, brutally. You walking disaster. Fight me. Get up. Xander kicked Franklin in the chest so hard a bit of blood gushed out. But instead of coughing further, Franklin slowly rose back up with a twisted grin. Xander, understandably, stepped back a little cautiously. The holy unholiness, grant me the wisdom I need to spare this man's life, because I feel it would be necessary to remove him permanently. Yeah? Fight me then. Xander balled his fist and battled the cleric against Catherine's wishes. The fight was intense and brutal and lasted for about 7 minutes before Franklin found himself being overwhelmed by Xander's overwhelming might. I was going to fight this man without Wadaris, but now it seems I must use my power. Franklin jumped away from the gladiator and started to conjure up a deathly ball when Xander threw a dagger at him, piercing him in the left elbow. Blast! My lord! Song came and stood against Xander. I will protect you. She raised the staff she had found with determined eyes, locked with Xander's. You better run along, girl, Xander growled, unless you wish to die too. I already had a brush with death, and guess what? Song then pointed at Franklin. Despite his sickening and grim reputation, that man over there saved me from becoming just a sad memory. I owe Lord Franklin my life. He is a notorious manipulator, a monster, a scheming snake, Xander yelled at Song. How could you, a mere cute young woman, side with this son of a bitch? Song thought about her family, their deaths by Amari's ruthless father, and how she almost took her own life. Stay away from him, she said with pride. I will not let anyone here harm my friend and savior. Then you die. Xander raised his morning star to deliver the killing blow, but Franklin quickly blasted him down with a shadowy ball of intense heat. You take her life, and then I'll certainly take yours, Franklin spoke chillingly. Come, Song. We shall start returning to Reveria now. But what about your mission here? She turned to him. Scott shall lead the remainder of my mission of gathering new members. Franklin already started taking his leave, but not before he freed Catherine. Without saying another word, Song simply followed him. Wait! Xander started to go after him, but was stopped by Catherine. Let them go, Catherine said quietly. We need to focus on what is right here. Fuck. Fine, Xander quietly obliged after his complaint. Later that evening, after a lengthy series of battles against the worshippers, Catherine managed to finally return to her lavish mansion, where she immediately took off her battle clothes and went straight to the bathroom to take a much-needed shower. After cleaning herself up, she then donned a warm, fuzzy tank top and pajama shorts before she settled in her bedroom with guards protecting her as she started reading. Then there was a knock. They... Catherine rolled her eyes. What now? She asked herself quietly. Hello? Asked the young man wearing the clothes of a monk. Just then, he introduced himself. My name is Guanxin Han, monk of the Taiji Monastery, he continued. May I come in, please? Catherine stormed out of her bed and marched straight to the door. Upon opening the door, she took a quick look at the young monk and bowed to him. State your purpose here. Yes. Well, I've heard that you were struggling in defending your kingdom from the Draxes on top of already being forced to deal with the Ravarians, Benjamin Durr and his mass army. The monk, cautiously, then gave her yet another bow, Please, let me help you, Princess Catherine. You traveled all this way just to help me? Catherine closed her door while allowing Guanxin to step inside. You're one of those spiritual warrior monks, the Yunjia, right? You are correct, my lady. Guanxin sat down on a nearby chair. Furthermore, I've been hearing lots and lots of chaos being committed across the world, even more now as the kingdom of Magoria is currently facing a serious upheaval caused by a man named, Hendrix Alf. Oui. I've heard of him and his shit. Catherine poured herself and Guanxin a cup of water. Just then, she heard yet another knock on her door. Oh God, who is it? She went to the door. One sec, monk. That should be my friend. Guanxin remains calm. Your friend? Catherine opened the door cautiously. Hey! Erwin shouted happily. How have you been, young lady? He quickly walked into her bedroom and then merrily shook hands with the monk. Erwin Arrow? How have you been, sir? She again closed her door. I hadn't seen you in months. You know, traveling, getting drunk left and right, sometimes annoying the great hero while I'm at it. Ah, 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 ah. Catherine couldn't help but laugh while Erwin started looking around for something to drink. Yo, Guanjin, Erwin eyed him with a playful smirk. Oh boy. Guanxin chuckled nervously as Erwin stepped closer to him. You, I, and this lovely young lady here are gonna go and find the legendary Marcus Var tonight. Huh? Both Guanxin and Catherine said. Exactly. Erwin raised his hands. Come on. We got a date with Destiny tonight. You heard? He started making his way back to the door in a rush. Is he truly in my kingdom? Catherine pinched the bridge of her nose. That would be a yes, little missy. Erwin opened the door, casually took a bottle of Birka nearby, and helped himself to its warm, grape-like taste. Ah, this is so good. Should we go after him? Guanxin asked. I've been traveling with him for a while, and he is very hilarious, to say the least. I just wish he could relax just a little bit. He has always been like this, Catherine said with a steady smile as she started dressing herself up. Guanxin all of a sudden found himself looking away for a brief moment, nervously. Seeing this, Catherine giggled and thought to herself, yes, I am well endowed. Cute monk. 5 minutes later, Catherine found herself walking outside her mansion alongside Guanxin and Erwin, who were quietly holding a set of prayer beads and casually greeting people, albeit loudly and drunkenly, respectively. As for Catherine, she was being greeted by many of her citizens back to back, with some young men even flirting with her, to which she politely turned all of them down. Yer, Erwin smiled at Marcus, who was just walking toward them with a set of scrolls in hand. Finally found you, black ass. What? What? What do you have to say for yourself now, boy? Marcus slowly closed his eyes and then looked at Erwin with mild amusement. Erwin, you're drunk again. No, my friend. I'm just full of good spirits tonight. What the fuck do you think I am? Ha 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 ha. Uh-huh. Well, how about you stay with me for the rest of the night? Marcus walked past them and greeted Catherine and Guanxin. Please excuse my old drunken friend here, young ones. My name is Marcus Var, great hero. Yes, salutations, grand hero. Catherine nodded her head at Marcus. So, what has brought you, this great hero, the celebrated one, to my lovely kingdom? Straight to the point, I see, Marcus laughed. Splendid. Well, you see, I've heard that your father and close friend of mine, Damien Vaught, had sadly passed away a while ago. So, I've come to pay my respects and help you navigate this difficult time, he spoke solemnly. Immediately, Catherine slowly bowed her head to the great hero once again, before she tearfully gave him a hug. Just then, you are very welcome, dear. Marcus hugged her gently. Erwin? Yes, young sir. Erwin finished his beverage. We should make our way for Princess Catherine's mansion. I have something else that we need to cover. Is it really serious, great hero? Catherine asked. Kinda, sorta. Listen, he let go of the princess. You intend to make a truce with the Bavarians, right? Then, my young friend, I suggest we make our way to your mansion and appoint your older cousin Brittany Vree as the Vice Ursa of Shamaria. Catherine gave these words some consideration. Well, it would help ensure my kingdom is at peace while I am gone. Furthermore, I actually already gave her the position just 2 days ago. Good, Marcus replied. Well then, let us make our way for the kingdom of Bavaria now. He was apprehensive, and in spite of himself, he continued, walking through the streets of Four Crown. And thus concludes Chapter 6, everyone. And by extension, Episode 6. I will see you all in just a few minutes.